Okay, it's been a long time since I did my last video. The reason is a lot of work, and also I built some new things in my house. In my former I²C videos I used these kind of telephone cables to do the wiring of the I²C bus, and I was on Elektrotechnik convention in Dortmund, and there I found a company that produces specialized bus cables, so-called flat cables, or in German Flachbandkabel. So it's a bit thicker than the phone cable. Also it has a much broader diameter, as you see here. So I thought by myself I want to try it, and so I sent an email to that company and asked for a demonstration kit, and they sent me those two books with products in there, and also this flat cable, as well as two endings and two clamps where I can add clients to the bus, add slaves to the bus. So, and the special thing with this bus system is that it's meant to be waterproof, and I want to test it. So these end clamps, you see there's a kind of gel in there, and you put it over the thing, and then you squeeze the cable into the gel, and that way the ends are waterproof. And with these clamps in between, it's kind of different. They have this kind of they have these spikes, and the spikes are squeezed into the cable, and this is meant to be waterproof. I'm not really sure if it's really, so I will definitely test it. And yeah, then you have clamps on the upper side, and I will show you how to add your Raspberry Pi to this bus system. So I am dipping the end point into the gel clamp, and I tighten the screws. Now I have a 1 meter cable, 1 meter flat cable, and I will use it as a bus, as a I²C bus for my Raspberry Pi home automation. This bus also has something, some joints. So this is a clamp to get clients out, but it also has T-joints, which they did not send me, which is very pity, because I would like to try this. With these T-joints you can have 90-degree other flatband cables connected to this. The good thing at this flatband cable is really that you can attach it, and it always stays kind of ordered. It does not drill, or it looks very organized when you use it as an electrician. This is the upper, the bottom case of this, and you see here these clips, and I put these clips. I put them under the clips and push it down. Now I have this clip on the cable. So what I do next is to put these things in this gap, and after that, so at first I do it. Now I can push that down, and it peaks a hole. I hope you see it there. These spikes are now entering the flat cable, and I have to add some force to push them down there. And I can also apply this force by tightening the screws. I hope that's tight enough. You see the end clipped in there. Okay, then add the cap here and tighten the screws so the spikes go through the cable. What I like with this system is that you have this bus cable, and you can add these spikes to everywhere in the cable you want. When you have a telephone cable, you only have an end-to-end connection. With each T connection or each client on the bus, you have to completely open the cable, add clamps to it, and if this is really waterproof, this is genius. So let's tighten the screws. So next step is to add my jumper wires to the bus. You see, this black is the ground, red is power supply, and then we have white and yellow, and I found some jumper wires that have the same colors, and let's add them to the bus. It's also this system where you just have a spike that goes into the cable. Let's see how reliable it is. I have my jumper wires and I cut them all through, and I have my red cable, the ground, then white, and yellow, and when I close this thing and tighten the screw, the spikes should get in contact with the cables. The problem is this hole, so if I want to really make it waterproof, I have to add some hot glue at this point, but maybe test that later. So this is my client, this I²C gadget with VCC, ground, STA and SCL. Let's wire it. VCC, ground. Let's make data. Let's make data white and clock yellow. Or do we have it different? Is there a is there some standard to this? I don't know. I just do it this way, and hopefully I have it the same way on the other end. The second end, same procedure. You can add 2 clients to the bus with one such clamp, but this I will only use one of them now. Now close, and you see these, there are kind of pins. You see these bars, they are pushing the cables down and squeezing the spikes through the cover. So tighten the screw. So after testing I noticed there is no I²C gadget on my bus, and the problem is, I hope you see it there, the spike did not really hit the cable. So it is really, I think my cables are too thin, or electricians used two cables that are too thick. However, let's fix that by rearranging the cables that the spike really pushes. Okay, it took me about half an hour to attach the cables to the spikes, which is in general impractical for professional use in my opinion. But maybe electricians use thicker cables, but then you have no jumper wires for it. So this is the question: are there thicker jumper wires, or will the vendor improve his product? So another thing I noticed, you still see there is no gadget on the bus, and when I put the LED on the end for cable testing between power supply and ground, do you see how bright the LED is? And on the other end, do you see the brightness on the other end? This is very poor result. Where does the resistance come from? And you see the LED is still bright here in the end, so the resistance does not come from the cable itself. But when you take a closer look at the spikes, you see that it's very hacky. So these spikes are not really reliable. They are spiking only a small part of the cable, maybe just one little strain of the cable, and this is of course not enough to send enough power over this thing. Spiking it twice and 3 times, 4 times, and so on. Okay, still didn't get any connection to the bus. My last try was to unisolate the cables, but this only led to that it did not fit anymore and was too loose. So I'm clueless at this point. Maybe you have ideas how to find jumper wires that are thick enough to work together with this spike. I already had power in my I²C gadget, but for some reason, so all cables worked, but for some reason I did not get the signal, so I assume that resistance is too high when only one of these thin things is sitting at the spike. So any clues, write it in the comments. Maybe also the vendor has some ideas how to use his products correctly. That's it for today. Thanks and bye bye.